He sneaking in.
Coach?
Yeah,
Hold on, time out. 3:15? Since you late, go to Publix, get some gummy bears, man. The
Going
this dude-
haze me right now.
Yeah, nigga, like,
What we need? What you need?
some gummy bears.
Some
Haribo Gold Pack
Haribo.
gummy bears.
We had to fight to get a meal. Yeah, wrongfully accused. We had to fight to get appeals. That's why we right to get a deal. He on the team, he gotta eat, you know. Despite your skills, keep it riding for the fam. You gotta light the wheels straight up. But in the past bad, work up in the trash bag. I'll pass a lot to take the test before I pass class. And my family needed bread, I had to come correct. That's why I keep airing it out like I just passed gas.
I'm disappointed in it.
Who you disappointed in?
I mean, The Last Dance, the documentary.
Why?
We know Michael Jordan, the basketball player. I don't want to
you-
learn more about Michael Jordan, the basketball player. We knew Michael Jordan was intense. I want to learn more about. I want to see more of him in his house. When he's sitting back, he got his little cup of whiskey, his glass of whiskey, and he talking.
But it's not done yet, though.
Bruh, come on, man. We got 4 shows in.
It's not done.
We got 4 shows in. All they talking
like
about is football.
all great shows, like you got to build it up. So outside of Michael, it was Pippen, obviously. He's always, and then Rodman, and then everybody else. And then they went to Phil. Then everybody else basically falls in line.
Yeah, but I don't want to hear about Phil Jackson. I don't want to hear
But
about Rodman. I want to know
soon.
Michael Jordan.
But it's too soon because they got to give you more juice on Mike. A great producer, you got to build him up, break him down, and then say this is the ending, right? So they got to give you that. They got to show you.
It's something coming because Mike, before it all started, Mike was like, "Nah, all y'all gonna think I'm my."
Correct.
Yeah. We everybody heard those stories about Michael Jordan on the court. We heard those same stories about Kobe on the court. We saw it, calling his teammates y'all soft like tissue. We hear the same thing about other NFL guys, NBA guys. But who are you off the court? That's what I want to see with Mike.
That footage we're seeing, bro, they sat on that for 20 plus years. Think about it. Have y'all seen any of that footage that they played?
Right.
Bro, Jordan doesn't want, I don't know what got in Jordan, but Jordan didn't want people to see this.
Yeah.
He was sitting on this, bro. That was in the late 90s.
You know what they said? He said when LeBron won his first one in Cleveland and he was watching the parade, he called him up and was like, launch that damn documentary.
I did hear that.
Yeah, like y'all talking
hear
about
that.
he the king, he the best. You heard that?
Yeah, I heard that too.
So Jordan,
So he just waiting for the right moment.
but that's crazy though. So Kobe never brought that up in his heart, but LeBron did though.
Think about it like this though. It's all about doing it at the right time, right? Just think of that footage that we're seeing if we just saw that 20 years ago.
It wouldn't be as relevant.
It wouldn't be nothing.
Correct.
So you enjoy watching this?
Because I'm kind of like you, a little bit like, I knew Jordan was a dog.
Mm-hmm.
I knew what he was, he was tough on his teammates. He was this, he was that. But like, for me, like the Pippen stuff, didn't know that.
Yeah.
The Rodman stuff, when he left and went to Vegas, that was boss.
I love it.
You know what I mean? Like,
Love it.
damn, that's the stuff I'm interested in.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know none of this stuff about Krause.
Yeah.
You know, all that stuff. Like, I didn't know that. So, like, to me, I'm learning.
So Rodman, you brought up Rodman. Did y'all ever have a moment on y'all team? Because y'all was successful as well. So who was y'all Rodman?
But you know what?
Who was y'all Rodman?
I'm gonna tell you this, and it's funny, and because I reached out to a couple teammates, and I asked them because I couldn't figure nobody. I'm like, who is our Rodman? So they're like, what you mean? Like, who acted like Rodman? Who, bro? Nobody can find nobody.
Yeah.
Coach Dungy was like a father figure. So like, you didn't want to let Coach Dungy down. So we didn't have nobody that was rebellious or whatever. Like, if you want to be honest, like if it was anybody rebellious, it was Peyton.
Yeah. How?
Just because of what he demanded. You know, if Peyton didn't like it, then we wasn't doing it.
Yeah.
You know, but that would be more Michael Jordan
So you got to
than
give me
Rodman.
one, man. Who was the Rodman? You got. I feel what you're saying, but like, or if you can't give me a Rodman on your team, give me a Rodman in the NFL.
With all that success though, Reg, you was 14 years, 12 playoff appearances,
You're looking
right?
at him.
And everybody thinks you need a dog on your team. And we all talk about it like, okay, you can get some good player, but you need somebody with an edge. You need somebody that if a fight starts, you know the dude to call. Y'all had that much success, and you ain't had no guy that
No.
when he walked in the locker room, Reg, you was
you know
scared
what?
of him.
But you know what though? It's a difference between a dog. We had some dogs, but it's a difference between a dog and what Rodman did.
He was a
dog.
He was a loose dog.
But he was rebellious.
Yes.
We didn't have nobody that was rebellious because at the end of the day, it was almost like you disrespecting Coach Dungy. Maybe one time where we had somebody get in trouble and they had to get the police involved.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we took pride in that.
Yeah.
Like an off season go by.
That's why they won.
Yeah.
Say.
Off season go by and we're not in the news. We're not on the ticker.
The thing is this though, the NFL, if you were a Rodman or a Rodman-esque or type, you didn't last. You probably weren't gonna be in the league for more than a year. So you had some guys that took a few things from Rodman's plate because Rodman was so complex, right? I mean, you had the Rodman that rebelled, you know, the one who wanted to party and hang out. You had the Rodman that wore his outfits.
Yeah.
And then you had the
Definitely
hard
ain't doing that in the
worker
league.
who didn't need or deserve any credit. So from that complexity, right? When you're trying to find out who was the Rodman for your team, maybe you had one guy that had one of those characteristics.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But you ain't gonna have all.
No, you're not gonna have more. And the NFL isn't gonna allow for you to. You just said it. Everybody's gonna be butting up. The closest.
Gronkowski.
I mean, that's the
Odell
party
Beckham
side.
Jr.?
Well, I'm gonna tell you this.
That's the highlight side. You
AB?
had the rebellious side. AB.
Right.
Most of y'all receivers. You,
Yeah.
Reggie wasn't, but
Easy.
you and AB.
Y'all talking about Rodman, y'all talking about all the rebellious off the field, the Vegas stuff, which is crazy to me.
I love it.
For field, the personality management that coaches have to have. In the NFL, they don't do that. They won't sit and pick and choose.
Yeah, they do.
Bro, they're not gonna let nobody. Phil said that he knew Rodman needed a break, so they gave him a break.
Yeah.
No coach in NFL history will give somebody a 48-hour break.
How many of our superstars you know don't practice?
I'm gonna tell you what that's called. It's called conduct detrimental. They're gonna hit your pockets.
Yeah, some teams
in the documentary, they didn't say
Right.
Rodman was fined. We might not ever know. They didn't say it. Doesn't mean he didn't get fined. You know, they just said they swept it under the carpet, and Rodman came back and did what he was supposed to do.
Considered it load management back in the day.
Exactly. Rodman came back, and even though he didn't come across as a consummate pro, he did what he needed to do on the field. And Mike and Pippen, they managed that, and that's what you need.
Well, it's a way of doing it.
That's what they did.
Just not by the Rodman standard. Once November came with Coach Dungy, that's when our Victory Mondays started in November, right? So when I say Victory Mondays, that's when we win the game. We have Monday off, and Tuesday was already off, right? Yeah. So me and my teammate, Edrin James, soon as it could be third quarter, and we know we about to win. We're like, hey, we hit our PR dude up. Like, hey, get us some flights.
Get some flights.
Get us some flights ready.
Where y'all going?
We coming in Miami.
Bro, you flying from Indy to Miami in the season?
Yeah, absolutely. So listen.
You got your 48 hours.
Listen, we got our 40. So it's a way of doing it. The only thing we had to make sure is we was back by Wednesday morning meeting. Yeah. Right? We'd get back Tuesday evening. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts.
Y'all flying Delta or y'all flying PJs?
No, ain't no PJs. We regular. We commercial. We regular commercial now. We regular commercial.
He ain't flying PJs.
Yeah, so exactly, right? So it was like we found a way to do it. You know what I mean? We just didn't break any rules.
Yeah.
Like it didn't bother me that OBJ and all them boys
boat trip.
took that road trip and got on the boat and all that. Like, we did that too.
Yeah.
But we
just
won.
Y'all did it.
But yeah, but you gotta think about it too, right? Back then, it wasn't nothing but MySpace. You know what I mean? So people, it really wasn't, the social media part really wasn't like it was.
Yeah,
like
but
it
y'all
is today.
probably moved a little differently too. Like, you know what I'm saying?
But at the end of the day, right, the difference between us and OBJ, like, we wasn't taking pictures and posting.
That's the biggest difference.
That's the difference.
But that's the new age athlete.
That's exactly. So like, we built, like, EJ had a boat. He owned the boat. We was on the boat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, when I saw it, I like, we did that years ago. You know what I'm saying? But we was on the boat and we was chilling. We wasn't trying to, look like, boys to men on the boat talking about.
And that was the one thing.
Yeah.
Hey, listen,
You just chilling.
that's another thing it brings up. I always was an advocate for sick days. As a professional athlete, you don't get a sick day.
You don't get a sick day.
If you're sick,
That's big.
you coming into the stadium.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're sick, you're going to sleep in the infirmary or the doctor's office, and they're going to make sure you're sick.
Right.
Anytime missed, they're going to make sure that it's warranted, right?
If you in school and you sick, you
stay home.
Correct.
If you work but
not in
corporate
the NFL.
America, you sick, you stay home. NFL,
in the NFL, it ain't happening. You come into the building.
You can't call in sick or what they say.
No matter
Fred.
where you're coming in, bring
come
your
on
ass
up to the
in.
facility.
Right? And you're going to be at the facility.
Let us check you
They're
out.
going to make sure they check you out and make sure that the story matches.
That's why I stopped drinking Hennessy, because you could smell it in your pores. Because when I said I was sick, they say, come up here, you smell the Hennessy coming out.
you
Hennessy,
just
you
drunk.
smell Hennessy everywhere.
Alcohol
That's why I stopped drinking
poisoning
Hennessy.
is not on the list of regular sick. But these are the things that go unnoticed. To really think, going back to Rodman now, everybody deserves some time off. But in professional sports, you can't, during the season, you can't get that time.
Nah, bro.
It's considered
You know who did it, though?
conduct detrimental.
You know who did it? LeBron James. Remember, was he back in Cleveland? He was back in Cleveland.
Came back to
And
Miami.
he came back to Miami for 2 weeks.
Yes.
Talking about his back hurting.
Said his back was
Hey,
sore.
when y'all saw that as athletes, I know y'all was like, y'all seen the BS between. Like, he might be hurting, but that boy wanted to break.
But that's the big difference, though.
Yeah.
It's the NBA, that thing is fully guaranteed. You sign $100 million, you're getting $100 million.
Yeah.
Versus the NFL,
Amen.
you try to pull that, they're gonna find something in your contract clause that says, all right, maybe he was in Miami on a jet ski. We caught a photo or whatever. We can shake up his contract. We can figure something or fine him for it.
Yeah,
so that's the difference.
That's the thing. They gonna fine you for it.
But like, who's the Rodman of the NFL and then the modern NBA Rodman, right? Here's what I would say. Antonio Brown. Everything that we're talking about Rodman doing, Antonio Brown been doing that since he got the first bag. Okay?
I don't disagree.
Maybe Gronkowski for me.
Hey, I was going to say, because you presented the question, we've been talking about it, fellas. When you asked who the Rodman was, 2 names popped up in my mind, and one of them is B. Marshall.
Oh, man. Not even close.
Not even close?
Nah.
B. Marshall. I was your teammate, bro.
Well, give us a story or something, because that don't. Just
I'm just
saying.
saying, bro, did you have some legal troubles?
I did.
Did you have some organizational troubles with
I did.
coaching staffs?
I did.
Check.
Were there players on your team that were scared of you? And I played, so don't lie.
No, I would know.
B.
No,
Marsh.
no.
The young receivers, the young DBs, the dudes you cussed out, the guys
Maybe.
you slapped into the fence, they were
Maybe.
scared of you. And the funny thing about Rodman was he was a monster, right? We would not talk about Rodman if he was a backup.
Right.
Rodman was a dog.
He was a dog.
That's why we talked about it. B. Marshall, you was a dog. And you have a lot of the same tendencies as Dennis Rodman.
You know what? Maybe. But I ain't had that juice, though. Like, I ain't had that swagger. Being a distraction, I think I checked the box there.
Mm-hmm.
But when I think of Rodman, man, like, I think about the swagger and the juice.
Man,
That's
you
what I think
had
about. When I was in
swag.
middle school.
Bro, you had swag. Stop it, man.
But bro, when I was in middle school, listen, hold on, Reg. When I was in middle school, bro, I painted my hair gold when I was hooping. Like, because of Rodman. I can't say that kids did that. Now, kids, they follow Odell with the gold hair, the little curly stuff going on. I just didn't check the box when it came to swag.
I'm gonna tell you what the box you checked. Because one thing I always do, I always talk to the DBs on my team. You know, if we're going up against, Brandon Marshall, Larry Fitzgerald, whoever, you know what I mean, Julio Jones, like, what you see? You know what I mean? Because I know every offseason I watched all receivers. I watched all the top guys. So I knew what I saw. So I would always ask them, what you see? The box that checked off of Brandon Marshall, Debo.
Yes.
Just Debo.
Red, let me ask you this, because Hall of Famer, we talked about it, bro. You was a monster, played you. Have you ever stood up in a Saturday night meeting, that 9 p.m. meeting?
I need to get a drink. Hold on, I'm going to get a drink.
That 9 p.m. meeting, Reg, you know what I'm saying? That you have the night before the game. Have you ever stood up and turned to your quarterback and said, if they go single high, throw me the ball. If they ever leave me one-on-one, throw me the ball. Because I remember in Green Bay, we're playing Aaron and them the year they win the Super Bowl, Reds, and B. Marshall jump up and tell, Chad Henne?
Chad Henne.
If they ever have me man-to-man, There's only one option, Chad. Throw me the ball. This in front of Reg. Every coach, every player, everybody in the Dolphin organization.
I'm going to tell you what that is as one of those other receivers. Okay? Total disrespect. Total disrespect.
Very Rodman-ish?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Because I know them dudes that sit up there like, what the God?
Bro, I ain't have them all back there,
Like, I'm sitting here. Like, I'm right here. Yes. We're here, and you gonna sit up there and say, throw you this? Like, total disrespect. Well, I know they had this.
Well, see, no, you can't listen to Reg,
coming
though.
straight.
Fred, you can't listen to Reg. You can't listen to Reg because he had Dallas Clark, and I had some amazing. I can name a list of wide receivers and tight ends and running backs I played with. But you got Marvin Harrison, Dallas Clark. It's hard to say that. I can't say that. If I'm playing next to Reg, I can't say that, right? But when I'm playing with,
don't even go there. Don't even go there. Don't even go there.
It really has nothing to do with the receivers. It's just like we're not winning.
But listen,
we weren't good.
I've been on that other side of the fence, right? You got to think. This past football season, Michael Thomas passed up Marvin Harrison's record for the most catches in the season. 140. I was on that team. That was my second year in the league, right? And Marvin caught 143 catches. And I'm sitting back and I'm like, wow, they're just going to throw him all the balls. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm just watching it and watching it and watching it. And he get 143 and I'm going up to Marv like, man, congrats. Like, that's good. Marv looked at me and he was hot. I'm like, damn, what the wrong with Marv? You know what I mean? Marv was mad because he didn't get 150. He wanted 150, dog. You know what I mean? Like, damn, 143 ain't enough.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
with the record.
So I've sat there as that other receiver and like, God damn, man. Like, like spread the wealth.
Hey, man, I used to hit Reggie up, man. Live a couple houses down from all of us, man. I used to hit this man up in the office like, yo, bro, come to the facility. Let's work together. You know, I'm trying to pick his brain. Bro, where did you used to train when you was playing, bro? Like, you never came and showed love, man.
I'm going to tell you what I did, bro. By the time you didn't hit me, I hadn't worked out already.
See, because you be late. That's the problem.
Slow motion.
So
late,
I worked out at 5:30 in the morning.
With Swayze?
Went down to University of Miami, and worked out with my strength coach from college, Andrew Swayze.
Yeah.
So by the time, I always looked at it like this. I feel like everybody's working, right? I get it. Everybody's training, getting ready. But I'm going to train before you train. So I'm going to train at 5:30. You know what I mean? I'm going to be that bird to get the worm. You know what I'm saying?
Hold on. And this is from where you live, this is a 45-minute drive.
40 to 45, yeah. By the time I'm stretching and getting ready, it's still dark outside.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And we always ran first. So I'm out there on the field ready to run. You know what I mean? So that was always my thing. And it was me and Swayze. I've always worked out by myself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he probably don't want me to say this. But who cares, right? Listen.
Exactly.
So one time I had Chad Johnson work out with me. I didn't want Chad to work out with me no more.
Why?
He couldn't keep up.
I felt like he was slowing me down.
Oh, there we go.
Ain't no disrespect.
Chad, get on the podcast.
It ain't no disrespect. It ain't no disrespect to Chad. But everybody ain't ready for Swayze. So you know the way professional football players train at the facility is not how college players train. So I was more on a college schedule. So I'm doing all power lifts. I'm doing, I'm running 21, 22 110s.
Yeah.
Like when you get in the league, you finally say, man, I ain't doing that shit. You know what I mean? But I for 14 years, I did college workouts.
Y'all feel as if y'all worked harder with your team or by yourself? Because this is something I think a lot of young athletes and a lot of parents of young athletes don't understand. When you just go to the facility, that's the bare minimum, right?
Yeah.
Because the strength and conditioning coach for the professional team, bro, they might get fired if you get hurt. If you're Peyton Manning and you're benching and you
tear your pec or something.
Tear your pec, bro, you probably gonna get fired.
Yeah, I always said that their job is to keep us on the field.
Yeah.
And it's the bare minimum. Like the stuff we do as warm-ups in college be our entire workout.
Absolutely.
What is it? acupuncture, stretch guy, the nutritionist, all the like LeBron James said, he puts $1 million into his body. That's one thing I don't think people know from legends like y'all, how much money and how much focus y'all put into getting ready to play a game when you play at a high level.
You know, the first person I heard that did something like wild like that was Carlos Dansby, our teammate. You remember how Los used to take care of himself?
Yeah, low sleazy,
bro,
low sleazy.
Yeah, brother, the year I think they went to the Super Bowl, he was like, man, I invested $400,000 in my body, my chef, my trainers, everything. And that put things in perspective for me. From that conversation, I went and I got my own trainer. And from that moment on, from 2011 till I retire, I invested at least $300,000 in the off season in my body.
I don't know about y'all, man. I get it. Like, yeah, obviously you want to eat healthy and do all that kind of stuff, right? But bro, like, I was drafted in 2001, right? I probably didn't have my first massage when I was playing in the league probably until 2009. What? Like, so I'm totally different. You know what I mean? Like, bro,
Fred,
listen.
You hear this, man?
But listen.
Fred, you wouldn't have made it that long, Fred.
See,
you wouldn't have had no back-to-back
we play different
1,000-yard
positions.
seasons.
We play
definitely play different positions.
So
but
it's the thing.
It's bro, it was all in my training.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I mean? It was all in my training. Now, I will say what I did was after Memorial Day, I didn't drink anymore. That was my thing. I live it up in the off season until Memorial Weekend, and we used to go to Vegas or go wherever and wild out. That was kind of like my woosah. Like, this is it.
This is it.
Right? After Memorial Day, I didn't drink no more. You know what I mean? And then it was a couple of seasons, believe it or not, where I went more than half the season and didn't drink.
Not.
You know what I mean? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So like, so I'm telling you. But bro, I ate whatever I wanted. I did whatever bro, I ain't never did all this. I never had a chef. I never.
You a country boy. You from Louisiana.
Hey, bro.
Y'all just do things differently.
Hey, bro.
Y'all built differently.
I get it. Everybody, you got to do all that.
Got
but
that
like,
Louisiana blood.
Hey, bro. Like,
it's really to each his own, right?
Absolutely.
Wherever your mindset is, Reggie was still balling. Again, we just spoke briefly about some of his accolades and then being able to help the Colts win the Super Bowl in 07, 08?
06.
06.
Super Bowl 41.
So his mindset was, I'm good. When I was able to leave my team and go and start training here in South Florida with the massage, with the chiropractic, with all the, the additional therapies or whatever they were, hyperbaric chambers, all that stuff, that put my mind at ease. That's what I felt that I needed. And I always felt like the off-season money that the team wanted to pay me $100,000 to work out with them
wasn't worth it.
Nah, it wasn't worth it.
Did you ever invest in a chef?
I never invested in a chef per se.
Yeah.
But the place where I trained, I got meals.
Okay, well, we got Chef Nancy right here. We got Chef
Nancy
right here.
That's a good segue.
I invested in the chef. That's a good segue.
Hey guys, how are you?
Chef, what you got for us?
Shrimp tacos and elote, Mexican corn.
Oh, good.
Okay.
All right.
I like.
Chef, give us a little bit about your story, where you come from. Just a little bit.
Well, I grew up in South Jamaica, Queens in the 80s.
In the 80s.
Which was
80s.
crack era. But I was a Catholic school girl.
Okay.
And it wasn't really in my plans to become a chef, but that's where I am now. I cooked for my friends and my family, which was rewarding. I had friends over all the time. And then I raised my girls. I was a stay-at-home mom until I was 40. Just wanted to give my girls something to be proud of me, so I went back to school and became a chef. So basically, it's like how you guys suit up to go to a game, I put my chef jacket on, get in the kitchen, and my rewarding part is when you guys enjoy what I make.
Absolutely.
That's my touchdown.
Of course.
Oh, touchdown. Okay.
Touchdown.
I like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that. Sound like a receiver to me.
That's right.
See, but people don't realize no matter what career it is, you got a craft that you're passionate about, you're going to dig in. and make sure that the end result is gratifying to you. It's self-fulfillment. So I always tell people all the time, I can run the hell out of football. Yeah. So I'm gonna dig in to get the people what they enjoy. Chef Nancy, she gonna make sure, like when you bite that taco, she probably gonna watch you bite it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
she gonna look in your face.
And that, watch it. At the end of the day,
it's like when we line up at the line of scrimmage, we look at that DBI.
Yeah. You already know what time it is.
You know what time it is.
Well, you ain't put in the work. I've been working. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, thanks, Chef.
You're
this is
welcome.
amazing.
Enjoy.
But I'm saying all that because, like, you know, one of the things that I've always done was invested in my nutrition, and I learned from you boys. Like Miami Dolphins, I will always say is like that it's like that one night stand for me. I hated playing there. I love some of my teammates, but like from an organization standpoint back then, it wasn't right. So much better now, but it wasn't right back then. But we had a good time. But what I did learn from Ricky Williams, what I learned from Ronnie Brown, what I learned from Channing, what I learned from Carlos Dansby, how to take care of your body. Like I was just like you, Reg. When I was in Denver, I ain't getting no massage. I ain't getting a cold tub. I ain't do none of that. I saw them boys doing it. And that really helped me make it to 13 years in the league.
Invest in yourself. It was, for all your time, B. Marshall, it was B. Marshall LLC. Fred Taylor LLC, Reggie Wayne LLC. That's right. You're your own business.
Right.
You have to make money for your business, and your business is helping another business in whatever team you're on make money. That's what I think a lot of young athletes don't understand. They don't love you as a person. They love you as a player. They drafted you. They paid you. They recruited you. They scouted you as a player. And that's the one thing I try to get through to a lot of young guys. Bro, don't try to gain friendships, gain respect, because respect goes a lot farther than friendships when you're in, especially early on in your NFL career.
It's a young man's game. Eventually, they're going to look to replace you.
Yes.
Which brings us to A-Rod.
Yes.
Like A-Rod, like
Aaron Rodgers.
I put out a text and then I ain't gonna name no names, but it's like, well, what is this recent? Is this current events? Like, why are we talking about A-Rod?
I thought you was talking about Alex Rodriguez doing the
okay, he gonna tell on himself.
The what's that? The flip the switch Drake challenge and shit with J-Lo. That's what I thought this motherfucker trying to talk about.
Aaron Rodgers.
You thought me a Drake challenge?
Put on the dress.
Aaron Rodgers
put the dress
pissed
on
right now. Yeah. They took Love in the first round.
But I mean, it's full circle,
they
man.
They traded up to take.
They traded up 4 spots. But the thing about
the first round.
Oh, so I got to say it differently?
I was going to say, because now you ain't just sit where you was at. You traded up to go get him, so you put draft equity into another quarterback while Aaron Rodgers is still on your roster, but he is 36 years old.
But you got to be realistic. I just said it's a young man's game. It's a revolving door.
Not for a quarterback.
NFL will never be short of product. There will always be enough product for the NFL to sell its business, to meet its demand or whatever the case may be. A-Rod is 36. A-Rod came in the league in 2005. Brett Favre, I believe, was around the same age.
I think he was a year older or something like that.
36, 37, somewhere along those lines.
When they drafted
A-Rod. A-Rod was on the bench for 3 years. So now you're talking about Brett Favre's 39 knocking on 40. Same exact thing, man. How long do you expect him to be in Green Bay?
So he being sensitive?
What?
There's a harsh reality that guys tend to forget that the NFL first is a business. And a lot of the players forget that. A-Rod is in the same exact position as he was in when he came and he took over for Brett.
Bro, you got one of the best, Fred, I hear you and all of that,
I
bro.
don't care about all of that.
But you got one of the best quarterbacks ever. He may be able to play 3-4 more, right?
Okay.
But we know he at least got 2 to 3.
Okay, but
so you don't go get him help. You don't go get him a receiver.
What did I just say? This is what I like first. Just backing up. A-Rod reached out to Jordan Love after they drafted him.
Of course.
Supposed to.
So what does that say?
We're political. What it says is that we're political. That's the thing to do. NFL players are trained to say the right things and do the right things all the time.
This is my mic. I got the mic. A-Rod is a competitor.
Yes.
You can't take that from nobody who's a competitor.
Okay.
I can look. Jacksonville drafted a running back every year I was in Jacksonville.
Absolutely. No, yeah.
I'm competitive. Bring them. I don't give a f. Bring them. That's what I wanted. I'm pretty sure A-Rod's saying the same thing. You don't see a lot of quarterbacks out there.
No, A-Rod didn't say the same thing.
You know what I'm
disagree.
saying?
I disagree. These quarterbacks.
That's just how I feel.
I get it. And we all entitled to our own theories, and I'm not saying your theory is wrong.
Right.
But I just know what I saw. The coach draft Andrew Luck. Peyton Manning ain't like that. He ain't like Andrew Luck.
How you know he ain't like it? He called him. The same thing you said, Fred. He called him.
Because
I can Google that right now. Peyton Manning called Andrew Luck.
He probably did. That don't mean that he was okay with that pick.
Playing good boy.
Right? That's what these quarterbacks, they're in a whole different category. Like, as other positions, we know, and I was telling Fred about this on the way in, like, we know doomsday is coming. We see them bring in guys every week to work them out. We know, at least I knew, every year they're trying to replace me, right? They drafted Anthony Gonzalez from Ohio State, first round receiver.
He was good, bro. He might have been able to replace you if he could stay healthy.
Hey, bro.
Hey, bro. He's like, hey, bro. Guess what? Anthony Gonzalez was that deal.
He was nice.
That's cool.
He was nice, but
that's ready to get Reg out of there.
That's cool. I didn't shy away from it.
Yeah.
Right? Come on. Just remember, I'm working out at 5:30 every morning.
Oh, he's stuck on this 5:30 in the morning.
Yeah, because your ass was late every day. Calling me
He calling me at 1 o'clock.
No, I was calling Reg at 4, like, hey, Reg, let's go run some route. I'm trying to pick his brain.
But nah, it's like, but for quarterbacks, they feel like that, these elite quarterbacks, I should say. Joe Montana, Steve Young, right? You can talk about Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers. Hell, we can even talk about Eli Manning and Daniel Jones, right? It's just like, we all get pissed when we feel like our services are no longer needed, especially when we feel like we got something left, right? But when it comes to the quarterback, it's like they get even more sensitive.
When is the right time to replace the only position that's different, the quarterback? And Fred, you brought it up now. He's 36 years old.
It's the right time.
But when's the right time? No,
they're not. Look, he just signed an extension.
He still got 3 years left, right?
Bro,
he just signed an extension in 2018, $100 million.
Aaron Rodgers,
they're not letting him go
over in
this year.
Carried the Green Bay Packers, and I'm not saying this as hyperbole. He literally carried that team to the NFC Championship last year. Why wouldn't you add a receiver, a lineman, a running back? Why wouldn't you give Aaron something more to go a little further than one game before the Super Bowl, other than getting a guy to replace him?
I will say this, right? And even though we're talking about Aaron Rodgers, one of the best quarterbacks to play the game, right? I will say this, and I tell a lot of young players this, that always want new coaches, want a new direction. That might not be what you want, because this new regime, they may not like you. They didn't draft you. Right? Like, they may have their own guys who they think is their next Aaron Rodgers or whatever. You know what I mean? Some GMs come in and they want to do it their way.
On ESPN now, they're doing Project 11, Alex Smith rehabbing from that gruesome leg injury. Like, what levels did Peyton go to, bro? Like, what insight can you give us to show us, like, how dedicated he was to getting back?
Peyton had a chip on his shoulder, bro. But he wanted to prove everybody wrong, right? So he calls me up and he says, hey, Reg, find somewhere. That's what he do. He tell you to go do it, right? He said, find somewhere where we can go throw and catch, right? At this time, I still thought he was still hurting. I'm like, all right, bro, I see what I can do. We go somewhere. We go to a high school. And me and Peyton out there throwing and catching for 2 hours. And I saw it. I'm like, man, you good now. You straight. Now you just got to find a team. You know what I mean? Like, so like, and just talking to him and the way he's explaining everything, you can tell he was pissed. He was salty. Like, he wanted to shut everybody, because you got to think, at that time, everybody was like, man, he's done. He can't do this. He can't do that. So
no feeling in his arm.
I just think, and you saying, what did he do? I just think he used the fuel from all the naysayers and use that as motivation to get back right.
But it goes back to A-Rod. You say he had a chip on his shoulder. A-Rod is going to perform. He's going to do this exact same thing. I guarantee you.
A-Rod ain't doing the same thing. A-Rod is going to ask for a trade.
He's untradeable until after 2021. They gave him $134 million, right? They can't touch him. Now, if Jordan Love comes in and just goes ape, you know what I'm saying, and he's just this talent that you can't deny, then now they can look at those possibilities. But at 36 years old, quarterback, what are you going to get from him with that type of salary cap carry?
I don't have much problem with Jordan Love coming to Green Bay. But, Red, you talking about Peyton where Peyton still had it, but they brought in Luck before Peyton was ready. When is the right time to move on? Because the Patriots are the only team that moves on from guys.
Real quick.
Career.
You know, to help the Colts out a little bit, like they were just unsure, I believe, on where Peyton was going to come back. Like, bro, we talking about nerves. So they didn't know.
But wasn't that the right time, Red? Like,
it was the right time.
With that question,
it probably was the right time. You know, uncertainty. But that's when I go back to saying that these quarterbacks, these elite quarterbacks, they believe that they're made of Teflon. Like, when it's everybody else, oh man, it's sad to see him go. Like, damn, I enjoy playing with him. But when it's them, like, oh, no, hell no.
We had to fight to get a meal. Yeah, wrongfully accused. We had to fight to get appeals. That's why we right to get a deal.
Also, what I think you need to look at, too, is like, I don't got nothing else.
How you gonna line up 1 and 2 and not have a 2? First and second, ain't got no second.
That's that Jack Daniel, huh?
Yeah. Found out what the blueprint was, and then we made it pop. Yeah, and I just keep coming with verses. Got the boy collecting bags. I'm like a woman with purses. Make it to the top, like I'm dancing in the end zone.